Yes. Welcome everybody to this amazing, awesome, crazy Zoom called Pragmatic Psychology.
Oh
Using
yeah.
your crazy and your difference for you instead of against you.
Interesting.
Yes. So my name is Susanna Mittermeier, and we also have the amazing Graham Crosskill here. And
Hello.
hello. Usually, like from the beginning, we wanted to have this be a hangout today with you about pragmatic psychology. And then after having an amazing German Zoom, we decided to change this into a Zoom because we wanted to have you guys on. We want to have this more be an inclusive party with you guys where we are going to talk about what pragmatic psychology is, how you can use your difference to create for you and with you and to create your future as well. And where you also have the chance to give us comments, ask your questions, and to also let us know what you would like to get out of this particular time together.
So eloquently put.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for inviting me to be a part of pragmatic psychology. Yay! How exciting is that? I know for me, pragmatic psychology was one of the classes that started the real. There's like this time when you go to access classes, and then you get this tick, and it goes took, and things start working. And I think for me, pragmatic psychology was one of those classes. It was amazing.
Yep. So what is pragmatic, which in this world is not usually talked about. Pragmatic actually means to choose and do what works for you. And so like if you all like tap into your past, into your childhood and everything you've done before this very now, like how often are you used to rather making things dramatic rather than pragmatic? So dramatic is where you are doing what everybody else does, which is to react to what's going on around you rather than act. So reacting is where, let's say somebody has a point of view about you, somebody has a judgment about you, and what are you doing? Well, usually what we're supposed to do and learn to do and taught to do, which is to react, have a point of view about it, either go and say, oh my God, this person must be right with the judgment they have about me. I must be such a pathetic little something, and they must be right about it. And that is one way of reacting. The other way of reacting is, how can this person say this about me? Are they crazy? And so everybody has their own little favorite way of reacting, either agreeing and aligning to it or resisting and reacting to it. And the space of not reacting at all but acting is where you would move and ooze into a pragmatic life and living that is so not normal and so different and so spacious that you would probably be judged as totally crazy. So for me, crazy and insane is the capacity to see possibilities and to be aware of possibilities that other people are not willing or capable of perceiving. So this is something that started for me when I was actually a long time ago. When I was a child, I always wanted to show people what they're capable of. And then I was asking, so what is the job description of that? You know, what's the job that matches what I want to bring into the world? And I tried so many different things, as I guess many of you have tried. I studied to become a teacher. I studied linguistics. I studied philosophy, all kinds of things. And then at that time, I lived in Sweden. And I found this study or this education thing that was called psychologist program, which means you do 5 years of study with psychotherapy and all kinds of different educations. And then at the end of it, you are a psychologist. And I thought like this was the most matching of what I wanted to bring to the world. And so I did the study, and what I found out was that psychology actually, as it is right now, is all about fitting in, behaving right, normal, not normal, sane and insane. And it was not at all what I thought it would be or what I knew it could be. So, but I'm really grateful for it because I learned so much about how this world actually functions. And I got so much information about how this world functions. And I just knew that there's something I can change. And so when I started with Access, and I had conversation with the founder of Access, Gary Douglas, we asked questions, as we do. And so we're like, okay, so what's possible there to change with psychology as it is right now? What if psychology actually could be the study of knowing? And that's actually what psychology used to be in the very beginning, until it got turned into the study of behavior and being right and wrong and sane and insane. And so he inspired me to go, okay, so what if you changed your perspective of psychology, create something totally new, create a different paradigm? And so we looked for names, and his suggestion, amongst other things, was call it pragmatic psychology. And I remember going, yeah, it doesn't sound that sexy. I'm like, maybe we could call it consciousness psychology. And then I'm like, and then we both like started to laugh because it's like, that's not what psychologists or doctors would go for. That's a little too esoteric. So, so we chose the name pragmatic psychology, and that was many, many years ago. And it's, Gary has such an amazing awareness of the future and what each choice creates. And that name creates brilliance, because pragmatic is where you, in every moment, get to choose what truly works for you. And so pragmatic psychology is using the Access tools to create a different paradigm for psychology. And so I just started with classes all over the world with a book and sessions and so on. And I never had a point of view where this should go or what this would create in the world. And then just recently I have doctors contact me who want to know more. I have a a psychiatry conference who wants me to speak for the second year in a row. And so it's amazing how mainstream is starting to become really interested in this knowing thing. So what this shows me is that different times have started, and that what we do with Access, what we do with asking questions, and the weird processing and the weird methods we do and tools we use, it's starting to become part of mainstream. And that's thanks to all of us, every single one of us who chooses to be weird, who chooses to be different, who is willing to be and live out of the box. So this is also a thank you to all of you for choosing this every single day and not staying in the wrongness of you and not staying into any box that anybody has put you in. Because, judgments are boxes that we put into. Diagnoses are definitely boxes that we're put into. And I've met so many people in psychiatry with so many different boxes that the doctors have put them into, like anxiety, bipolar, depression, addiction, whatever. I mean, I've been working with patients with all kinds of different diagnoses, schizophrenia, what not. And all of them had the point of view that diagnosis is who they are and nothing more, because an expert has told them so. And for me, that was always such a devastation, because looking at these people and perceiving who they are beyond that judgment, is such a different space. And so when I started to ask questions, so what is the possibility behind these diagnoses? Totally different. An alien emerged, a totally different world emerged. And it's amazing how every single diagnose has a strongness to it, has a capacity to it that can be used to create your life rather than to decay your future. So this is what the invitation is with pragmatic psychology. And now we even have some other facilitators who are bringing this into the world, because I had a facilitator training last year, and some amazing beings started to choose to bring this into the world too, because every single one of us knows something about this, and has a different experience. Some of them had diagnosis themselves, which they discovered, oh, wait a second, I'm such a brilliance beyond this diagnosis, and I can use this to inspire other people to go beyond this. So I'm really thrilled about this. And so you're invited today with Graham and I to, if you have any questions, anything that you would like to know, anything special you would like to dive into today, just let us know. Get off mute, talk, ask, or give us a comment. And so maybe Graham, do you have anything that popped up for you while I was speaking? I know it was a lot. I'm a talker once I start.
You're on fire.
I'm on fire.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been doing a lot of more digging and research into money and how money's sort of come about and how we got into it. And as you're talking, what it's starting to make me become aware of is, how culture and society has started to form in the very same way, where it's been a created, fabricated, directed sort of concept. And psychology it has become one of those things, which is really interesting, because like we were talking the other day about putting out a study for you and showing the work that you do and the change that you're creating. And you're saying, yes, but the guys won't see it as a clinical study. But that just shows you that there's like a group of people on the top who are choosing what is right or what is wrong.
Yes. And it's so true, Graham. Like what I bought into for a long time until we had this, Graham and I had conversations is, and I'm sure none of you guys are doing this, like this group of people who have decided that they know what's right and wrong, I gave them the power to decide what's right and wrong, rather than going, wait a second, I know something different here. Let's change the world. So how many of you are doing something similar, where you're giving somebody else the power to choose over you, where you're giving somebody else the power to know better than you? And this might be an expert. This might be a relationship person. This might be a friend. It might be a family person. So everything that is for you guys. Sorry?
So I was going to say, it might be your split personality.
Yes, it might be your alter ego. Your uber ego, or your under ego, or your side ego. Everything that is times a gazillion. Will you please destroy and create? Yes. All right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, poisons. I was always so pissed at Freud, because he's talking about the uber. What's it called in English? The over.
I know it's
the over.
It's
Uber something, the Uber. Yeah. I don't know what the name is. And then he doesn't have an under, he doesn't have a side, he doesn't have a I'm like, hello, I'm OCD. If super he covers the top, why doesn't he cover the sides? I'm like, what? Yeah. So everything that allow you to have fun with our very weird sense of humor, will you please destroy and uncreate it? Drunken fuck all my shirts, boys and beyonds.
So what's quite wonderful about that conversation that we actually had, Susanna, is the thing you said to me was, you said, yeah, because Freud started somewhere.
Yeah.
And this is what you guys are going to start to get, that you've all got the capacity to start something from somewhere without any requirement or need for other people's approval.
Yes.
Everything that we have today has been started from somewhere. When is the time for you to start your something?
Yep. And you, like, all of you know something. All of you know something. And what you know is extremely, extremely uber different than anybody else. And what we usually do is we try to find validation. Like if you know something that's very different than somebody else, you probably are used to looking around and checking, okay, so I'm aware of something here. Is somebody else aware of it? No, this person is not aware of it. Is this person aware of it? Oh, I must be mistaken. I must be wrong. I must be missing something. rather than, wait a second, what I know, is this something totally different than nobody else on this whole planet knows? And am I willing to trust what I know? Everything that doesn't allow that, times a godzillion, will you please destroy and uncreate it?
Oh yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond. So what I've seen in my clinical work is that this is one of the places where people are driving themselves crazy or choosing to go crazy, where they know something, they see something, they're aware of something, and because nobody else sees what they see, know what they know, perceives what they perceives, they think and they conclude that they are the crazy one.
It sounds like my last month and a half. Yeah. And this is it, this is what pragmatic psychology does start to deliver for you. It really, which I've actually just become aware of, it actually starts the trusting of your knowing. And I don't think you really realize that, but it's the energy of that starting to come to fruition for you, where you can actually start to trust your knowing without the insanity and the confusion.
Yes, totally. And confusion is always where you have a lack of information. Like there's probably something you're aware of that you haven't acknowledged, or some information you're lacking. So when you have confusion going on, always ask, so what is the information here that I'm lacking? What am I aware of that I haven't acknowledged?
So I was going to say a joke. It related to the last hangout we did, but apparently it's not funny. I was going to say, doesn't matter. I trust my knowing that I left my pants behind.
Just because the Germans didn't laugh doesn't mean we're not gonna laugh.
I know.
I love your jokes.
No, I'm teasing myself.
Oh gosh. So humor is, by the way, an amazing tool to use. Please don't forget your humor. It's just amazing. Like, this is something I learned from my dad. He has the capacity to laugh about himself and not take himself serious. And this is really an amazing thing. Like, the seriousness is something also we've been taught in this reality where everything is so significant and you're supposed to understand everything, analyze everything, rather than, you know what, I'm just being silly here with inventing upset. What else is possible? And so everywhere you've taken yourself super serious, rather than laughing about yourself with your silly inventions of upset, will you please destroy and uncreate it times a godzillion? Yeah. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, beyonds. And if you need, take a glass of wine, take some beer, take a vape, whatever, just chill for a sec and then move on. Okay, so everywhere you're taking yourself serious, rather than enjoying yourself, will you please destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And you probably, will be judged for the sense of ease and space you have. Because one of the things that is extremely normal in our world is to have problems. I don't know if you ever noticed, it is actually normal to have a problem. Isn't that a very insane world?
How real that is. It's like, when it's so hard, happens often. Have you ever had it when you're like talking about, the common question is, okay, what you have to do, how's things going, how's business going, right? And you start telling them like how cool things are, and they just start withdrawing more and more, and you're like, what happened to you? But it is, they're like, people are literally not willing to receive the enthusiasm and the intensity of how fucking cool shit actually is,
Translate that one, Gudrun.
Sorry. Was I getting too fast?
No, it's just the words you say. I hear Gudrun in my head, translating into German, the words you use. And it's like, it's a pretty big challenge to translate shit and fuck into German.
Oh,
so I'm just...
Scheiße.
Yes. Oh my God, that's so funny.
So, go for it.
No, you go.
I was going to say, it's like, we spoke about it a few times, but that willingness to be different. And, for me recently, one of the biggest things that have been coming up is even the willingness to be different within access. It's like, how different are you willing to be? How much of you are you willing to have which is just, it's a bit of a mind blower for me, but it's so inviting.
Yes, thank you for saying that, because if you come into a new group, access or whatever group you come into, like how much are you checking? Okay, so what's normal here? Okay, so they're talking about being different and weird, but how different am I allowed to be? Okay, so and how does this different look like? So everything that is, everybody, when you come to a new group, and this time it's a crazy group, and you're still trying to check how you fit in and how you are appropriate, will you please destroy and create at times a cancillion?
Oh yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Because when you really check, like each and every one of us, and just perceiving our energy here on the Zoom, like how every single one of you and us is so extremely different. What a gift that is, and how every single nuance of what you bring to the world makes it so more vibrant, colorful, alive, interesting, worthwhile living, and actually creates that symphony of possibilities that we create together. Yes.
So as you said that, like the thing that popped up for me is, how many of you have been asking to have interesting and fun people around you, yet you're not really willing to be the interesting, fun person?
The fun guy.
Yeah, the mushroom. But does that make sense? Like that just came to me. Like because we get bored so easily. And I know a lot of people do like enjoy people, but they get bored with other people, and they're like, okay, so what will it take for me to have more interesting, more fun people and not be bored? Start with yourself. Yeah. So everything not like that times a godzillion, right? Exactly. Be like Susanna. Right, wrong, good, bad, bad, buck, all nice.
No, please don't. There's enough with one. Like this would be way too much for the world.
Yeah, so it's a cool concept. It's actually quite interesting. Like, what would it take for you guys to be the interesting mushrooms you truly be? So everything not like that times a godzillion. Fun guy, come on, we're on the sorry, good and right, wrong, good, bad, bad, buck, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
You're awesome, Gudrun. Oh, wow, that is so cool. Amazing. So, yeah, go.
I was going to say, invite the fun, invite the crazy in by being it yourself first,
Yeah. Yes. And also, like I said before, it's time now. It's like, it's not really that we have the luxury to not be who we truly are. It's like, if you look at where the planet is right now, it's pretty urgent for us to be everything we are. And I just had a Pragmatic Psychology intro evening yesterday in Vienna. And one of the things we talked about was, when you walk on the surface of the earth, like imagine being the earth, right? And like there are all these people walking upon you, and you walk like this. I'm a pile of shit and nobody likes me and I better eat worms. Like, how does this feel for you if you're the earth? Hello? Like, how fun is that? Not at all. But if you are the earth and you have somebody walk on you like, hello, how you doing? Like really, okay, this was really bad. But
like, are we on the moon? You're on the wrong planet.
I didn't even have any wine today. Sorry, I can't stop laughing. Can you keep up?
So everything that is, I don't know where we are. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, puck, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So it's like the I think the part of what you're trying to get to is it's just be what you want to see in the world, choose what you want to be in the world, and that is the invitation to a crazy planet. Like if you think, like imagine if Donald Trump was willing to actually be crazy, things might be a little bit different.
I mean, like good crazy. The man with the cat on his head.
Imagine if he got to hang out with Susanna for at least half an hour.
Oh gosh, like, so everybody, you gave this up this laughing in very inappropriate moments or appropriate moments. The moments like the times where you drove your teacher crazy with your laughter. Whenever you gave that up to become an adult, will you please destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, beyonds. Remember the times in school, the laughing attacks, and the most inappropriate moments?
That so reminded me when I got
driving the teacher crazy, driving the whole, like bringing the whole class along. Yep, that's our world. Everywhere you gave that up, will you please destroy and uncreate it times a godzillion?
Well,
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, beyonds. It's now the time to drive the world crazy with our fun and laughter.
oh yeah.
Everything that doesn't allow that. Okay, all of you. Everything that allow all of us to be the walking, talking orgasm and laughter, will you please destroy and uncreate it times a godzillion?
Oh yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. And by orgasm, I don't mean a walking, talking copulation on legs on the streets. I mean, if you wish to do, sure. I mean the energy of living, of joy, of nurture, of fun, of playfulness. You know, the planet has that energy. And we all have this with our bodies when we let it. And then at some point, we gave it up to fit in. And this is usually the moment where you start to contract and make yourself very, very crazy and insane, just like everybody else around you. Everything that is, will you please destroy and uncreate it?
Oh yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond. So one of the things that just came out with Access that I love and helps so much is the awareness that that we assimilate what is going on in the world and make it ours. Like, so this is just something I want to give you because this is very new and it's so helpful. The awareness of when you are aware and you grow up in the world where heaviness and problems are normal and you make it part of you. And assimilation is a process. It's also, like, you can Google it. It's actually a real word this time. And
the first word ever.
The word, like fun pock assimilation. Yeah. So assimilation is a process where you take something and you make it part of you. And so assimilation is where you take what you are aware of around you. And so to live in this world, you just make it yours, you know, and then it's so part of you that you don't even notice anymore. And you don't even know which part is yours, which part is not yours. And you basically just end up being like everybody else. Yeah. And you probably noticed, like, you're at home, everything is great, you know, dancing naked, yay, everything is great. And then you step outside, first you get dressed, and then you step outside, and then no, I'm not going to tell you that story.
Get dressed.
You lost me at get dressed.
I was outside. God. You missed the get dressed first. Okay,
you get dressed and you get outside. First, unless you have a class and you're so frightened that you step outside the hotel room and notice something is missing.
I did that.
That's the story for another time. Mm-hmm. And so what we usually do is that we end up checking out, okay, so who is there? And you immediately go into the heads of somebody else, of whoever is around you, and assimilate to that person's world, trying to make sense of how they're functioning and where they're functioning from, and have no choice at all, just to be whatever they need you to be. And so this is something that's like so amazing to be aware of, and you can just use it this way. You just say, everywhere I'm assimilating to whatever is going on around you, I destroy and uncreate it, and you pot and pocket. And you can do it over and over again. Okay. So really the tool of when something is light, it's right. When it's heavy, it's a lie. And one of the tools right now that you can use, everywhere I'm assimilating to whatever's going on around me, to the sadness around me, to the unhappiness around me, to the poverty around me, to the pain around me, I destroy and uncreate it times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay?
Yeah. Great tool. Great tool.
Cool. Yay. So We can go on talking and talking and talking and talking, because there's so much to this work with pragmatic psychology and the tools and what's possible to be discovered behind these insanities, and also how you can create your life pragmatically in a way that works in every area of your life. So I'm happy if you have any question, you can ask it now. And yeah.
Let's have at least one question.
Let's have at least one question before we quit for today. Is there anybody who dares asking a question?
Yeah.
Like, now is the time. Use us. Lisa.
Psychoanalyze them.
Have I to do it in English? I don't know if I can it.
Wie du möchtest. Du kannst es auch auf Deutsch machen und ich übersetze dich.
Super. Beim letzten Zoom ist mir aufgefallen, ich habe den Fokus so gehalten. Und deshalb kann ich beim letzten Zoom, der vor 2 Tagen, kannst du mich hören?
Ja, ich höre dich jetzt.
Super. Da habe ich gemerkt, ich habe den Fokus so gehalten und mir war es so wichtig, dass das jetzt ernst und vernünftig gemacht wird, ja, so.
So at the last Zoom, I held the focus, and it was really important for me that everything was handled seriously and made important.
Und ich habe gemerkt im Nachhinein, dass das voll am Thema vorbei war. Also das war eigentlich genau das, worum es ging.
And I realized afterwards that I totally missed the point, and that what we talked about was exactly what was going on for me.
Und dass ich einfach Schiss habe, das zu machen, was du machst. Ja, ich finde es toll, ja, also nicht den Fokus zu halten, nicht ernst zu bleiben, nicht genau zu wissen, worum es geht, nicht in Ordnung zu sein, nicht zu funktionieren, wie ich glaube, dass es erwartet wird oder so, weißt du?
Yeah. So, and this is exactly what I was so extremely afraid of. This is what you do, and this is what I love. And the not focusing, the not taking things seriously, the not ordering, the not functioning like I thought it's expected of me.
Und das berührt mich jetzt total selber. Und ich will einfach diese alte Scheiße, wo ich das immer so halten musste, um irgendwie, was weiß ich, was ja egal. Ich will das wirklich, es soll loswerden, ja. Ich will einfach sein, ich will Vertrauen haben, dass ich einfach sein darf und nicht so funktionieren muss, verstehst du, was ich meine?
Yeah. So, and I just want to let go of this old shit and move on. And I want to be able to trust me. Do you understand what I mean? And I said, yes.
Great.
Yes.
Question. Great space.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Lisa. Is there anything else you wanted to ask, or just us to address it? Möchtest du noch was fragen diesbezüglich, oder einfach nur, dass wir noch ein bisschen drüber reden?
Meinst du mich jetzt?
Ja.
Ich brauche einfach ein richtig geiles Clearing für mich, wo ich das immer wieder rausschmeiße, ja? Also so, wo ich wirklich, wenn ich schon zur Arbeit fahre, ich fahre ja zu denen, also so, ich war heute nur 2 Stunden auf der Arbeit, mir ging es danach beschissen. Ich hatte die Energie so drauf von dort, ja? Und ich will nicht, dass es gemacht hat.
So what I would like, Lisa says, is I would like to have a super clearing to like this. I would like to have a super clearing to let go of all of this. And today I've been at work, and I felt like shit afterwards, because I was in this energy from my job, and I didn't have the chance to get out of it or something. So I love what you bring up, Lisa. It's just amazing, because this is what is. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading a message here. So, I'm not a good woman doing things at the same time. I'm just a man in a woman's body. So anyway, ADHD at the same time. So this is so great that you bring this up, Lisa, because this is what's been going on probably daily in our lives. You have a wish of, or an ask, a question in your world of, hey, what are the possibilities for me to function and be a space beyond this reality? And then you open the door, as I said before, and then you meet people who are grumpy and angry and upset, or family members or job colleagues. And what are we used to do? Well, we're used to entrain to that. We're used to start to vibrate, assimilate exactly like these people. And we we forget in that moment that we have choice. So everywhere you forget and make yourself forget that you have choice, and that you have the choice to change direction in every single moment, will you please destroy and create it times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And also, you know what's cool? You know what's more cool? Now, it's that you actually have the demand in your world to more and more and more function from a different space. It's not so important that you today went into the shitty energy of your colleagues. What if that's actually not relevant? What if it doesn't matter that you chose for those hours to feel like they felt, to be as low in energy and upset as they are? What if it doesn't matter? What if it's not relevant? What if the more relevant and important thing is that you actually have a demand in your world to function beyond it? So everywhere you guys are judging yourself for not having it down, for not having consciousness down yet, in the perfect way that you've decided it should be, will you please destroy and uncreate it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I just had a client, I think yesterday morning, and I've been working with her for a while, and she has been abused since she was a child, up until 19 years old, and now she's around 40 something. And this is something that she's looping back into over and over again. And we've been working, and it's getting better and better, and la la la. And she used to, whenever she's been abused by her dad, and whenever she thought of her dad and just talked of her dad, she would go into major trauma and triggering back to that, looping back to that time. And then, so she said during the session, you know what? I met my dad in person a week ago. Oh no, a while ago. And I went into major anxiety, and it was so terrible. And I thought I had changed this, and I feel so shitty. We've been working for such a long time, and I still loop back to this anxiety. So what the fuck? And so I asked her, okay, wait a second. So how long did that upset last? And she said, 30 minutes. And I said, 30 minutes. How long did that upset last a couple of months ago? For weeks and months. Okay, so weeks and months versus 30 minutes. Does that tell you anything? And she's like, oh my God. I'm like, yes, oh my God, you God. Like, how much did you change your life? How extremely courageous and strong are you for changing month into 30 minutes? And that space acknowledged so much of her capacity and so much of her potency. And from that space, she says, wow, now I actually know I can change those minutes into moments. And I know that I have choice in every moment. And it doesn't matter if I fall back into shitty upset and anxiety for a moment. I know I can get out of it again. And it's not about being perfect. It's not about getting consciousness perfect and just having, oh, ease, joy, and glory, hallelujah. Like ease, joy, and glory is actually where you don't judge when you are having a moment of drama, when you're having a moment of upset. Where you have an upset as long as you have it, and then when you're done, and you choose something else. That's the space of possibility that you can function from. Everything that doesn't allow that, will you please destroy and create it?
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Right? So Lisa, you having a time after your job today where it wasn't that easy? What if it's not relevant? What if your choice to go beyond it is so much more valuable and courageous of you and beautiful?
And also there's that acknowledgement that, often when you do find those moments where you recognize and you realize that you've gone into this other gunk because you can see that's where they are and that's not where you want to be, kind of is your indication that you've chosen something else already.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's kind of like you've already chosen it, and you're perceiving it in other people's worlds. So that's where you've got to start to realize that the choice is already there. Now you just got to start unwinding it with the tools.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much, Lisa, for your question. I'm so grateful because I think this contributed to many others being able to have that conversation with your very question. So thank you.
Thank you
Yeah.
for your brilliance.
Thank you. So the vulnerability we get to function from when it's no longer about being perfect is so beautiful. It's just amazing. What if we don't have to be smart anymore? What if we don't have to be perfect anymore? I did so many intelligence tests with people. That was one of my things, my job description things. I had to do neuropsychological tests. And one part is you always have to start with an intelligence IQ test. And I did so many in my time in the hospital that it just showed me that these things that is so valuable in this world, being intelligent, it means absolutely nothing. It says nothing about the person. It says nothing about how they create their life, how they live their life. It says nothing about the humor. It says nothing about their creativity. So everything we think is valuable that is not, will you please destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So yeah. So I hope this was an invitation for you guys. And I got a question here in the chat, but sent to me privately. If there's going to be an audio, yes, you all are going to receive the audio. And I can recommend listening to this again because there always things you hear the same second time differently. And I also invite you to share this one with people who you think would need this, who require some encouragement, some empowerment, that there's actually nothing wrong with them, that they are a gift to the world, that they are with who they are and not with their perfection. So if you want to know more about pragmatic psychology, there is a book on Amazon. There are a lot of videos on YouTube under Pragmatic Psychology. There's a YouTube channel. And there are also classes. The next one is in April in Vienna and also live streamed. So if you want to join, you can do the live stream version. The live stream version is only in English. And the Vienna class is in English, in German, and in Italian and French.
And South African.
And South African, because Graham is going to be there as well, of course. The best language of all.
Yes.
So the class is going to be the 5th to the 7th of April. And there are no prereqs, so anybody's welcome. And these classes are amazing because people come, all kinds of people come. People have been diagnosed, people who have family members, people who work with clients. There are a lot of coaches, therapists also at these classes who just want to have a different perspective on how do I work with people who think they're crazy. What's a different perspective than what I've been taught? What actually works when you coach and facilitate people. So that's also a big part of pragmatic psychology. And this time there's a specialty, which means that this class is going to be joined of a 2-day class that Graham Crossgill and I are going to facilitate together. This is the first time we're actually going to facilitate together. And it's on the 8th and 9th of April, and it's called Pragmatic Futurist. So one of the conversations Graham and I had with pragmatic psychology is when you let go of the wrongness you function from, you actually have the capacity to create your future in the way that works for you. And so this combined with Graham's brilliance about companies, entrepreneurship, and creating with businesses is going to be the Pragmatic Futurist class on the 8th and 9th of April in Vienna, also live streamed only in English. And the prereqs for this class are foundation or a CAP or a pragmatic psychology class. Why? Because we want to dive deep and go really far with this class.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice and
so
fun.
if no fun. No.
Sorry.
This is serious.
I'll be serious.
So if you know anybody that this is of interest for, if you want to contribute to us getting this out in the world, we would be really grateful because it's the first time we do this. It's very new. It's a new movement. So we'd be really grateful if you want to spread the news. Is that what it's called in English?
What if this is the new psychology? Ooh.
Yeah, coolio.
Thank you, guys. Thank you,
Thank you,
Susanna.
everyone. Thank you, Graham. Thank you, everyone, for being on. And thank you, Gudrun, for translating. Woohoo!
Yeah, woo, brilliant.
Thank you.
Bye.